This project's just taken so long, and I'm tired of it. Yeah.
Better get moving, this'll go fast. Get going, cause this won't last. You ain't seen nothing like this before. Ooh, got you in rapture, got you turned up. Once you get a taste, you can't get enough. You'll keep coming on back for more. Ooh, I will show you
Well,
what I got.
we haven't been doing a ton of recording this week. Mostly been trying to get these Portlights finished up. And I gotta say, they're coming along nicely. So, here's what I've done so far and what I'm doing next. It's actually taken several more passes than I previously anticipated. But what I'm doing is adding one more fairing coat to all these spots. Yeah, just one more. I'm adding one more fairing coat to everything. It's gonna be the thinnest yet, just to like really get out all the little ripples, and then hit it with the sander so that any lasting lows can be filled in and sanded by hand.
Can't get enough of, ooh, can't get enough of, ooh, can't get enough of what I got. You ain't seen nothing yet. You better get ready, say, yeah. You ain't seen nothing yet. You ain't seen nothing yet. You ain't seen nothing yet.
This was a lot of work. I say was as if I'm finished. I don't know if I'm finished yet. But here's a rundown of what's happened. So I sanded everything down and realized I needed a bit more fairing. Just kind of how it goes. So I just spent the last day and a half adding another coat of fairing compound to all the Portlights and making sure they're nice and like super duper smooth, so that it's ready to sand tomorrow. So tomorrow, that's what we're gonna do. It's been raining all day, so it's been kind of hard to film. Both Jake and I have been kind of stepping around each other, but we pulled all the plastic down and cleaned up the boat a bit because it was untenable. Absolutely untenable. Do you have anything to add?
No, I was just randomly looking up inflation. So that's always fun, trying to understand the economic system in the world.
You're a weirdo.
Well, because it came about because I saw an article about how people have noticed that the size of like bags of chips and candy bars, specifically candy bars, have actually shrank. And I was like, oh, it's probably due to the increase in cost for certain ingredients.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was like, oh, why does that increase in cost happen? Probably inflation, blah, blah, blah. So I started Googling inflation just to understand it.
Gotcha.
I do that a lot. I will see something online and they're like, oh, that sounds interesting. And then I'll start just kind of going to like a hole of random information and trying to understand why it occurs.
Cool.
No, they're looking really good. I mean, you can see where you kind of sanded a little all the way down to the fiberglass
Yeah.
in some of these places. It's looking really smooth. I mean, like, I think to hit it with the sander, once you go to hit it with the sander, it should be super easy. Just most of it's already smoothed out. It's about just kind of getting some of these smaller little ridges out. And then once that is in, we'll then put a little sealant here just to kind of smooth it out and make it like a seamless look, same as on the outside. But we're almost there. This project came about just because, well, it was been bugging Nick, but we were kind of stuck in a little limbo. I was doing some stuff editing. We were waiting on some stuff to come in.
Still waiting on stuff to come in.
Still waiting on stuff to come in. And so these he just kind of in the meantime, while we were kind of separated and not together doing different things, he started working on this. So after we finish this, we're going to get started on the solar arch, which hopefully won't take too long. It's predominantly just bending some pipe and welding, so that's hopefully what we're going to tackle next once this is up. But hopefully this will be done soon. And then of course we'll paint it, obviously, but obviously.
I saw a little hole like right at the edge, so I'm like, those, any like little pits right at the edge need to be filled in like now, otherwise, because those can't get sanded out, they'll just get bigger the more we sand. And that's kind of that's the type of thing that I've been really trying to pay attention to, and that's part of what's made this particular project so time consuming.
Good morning, New Bedford. So we're back at the boat. It's not quite bright and early. It's almost lunchtime, actually. But now that the Portlights have been sanded and filled, we're going to clean them up really good, and then we're going to paint them white. Right now it's like this ugly beige color, so we're going to paint Portlights in the ceiling. We were going to wait to do it, but we decided to let's just go ahead and get it done because we're feeling motivated to just get rolling and just finish it. So that way it just looks nice and comfortable, so that we get to be in this space that's actually finished and clean. So we're going to get it all masked off and get started today. So that's what's on the agenda.
I don't think we've ever shown this boat so clean.
I don't think so either. It's always a mess. I'm ready to start moving stuff into it. So Nick has anxieties about projects not being finished. I have anxieties about the cleanliness of it. So
I feel really good seeing this project like
no, it looks really good.
basically done. Doesn't it make you feel like better being in the boat, a little bit more prideful?
Well, it does, and it's like the fact that we started this back in I don't know,
February.
We're just not finishing it. I'm sure the outside looks great, but now we're gonna actually work to get the inside looking great.
No shiny things that I want. Waiting to see how fast they take to catch up. We gotta change our stand. Who knows I am the one.
So, I don't know if this is easier or harder than painting the ceiling of a house. It's nice to be in arm's reach, but at the same time, it's like, eh. At the same time, it's also like the hardest angle for your arms in some way.
Looking at me like I already won. 1,000 degrees, my feet won't stop till they're done. Someone just change our stand. Who knows I am the one. 1, 3, 4, 5 to the 6, baby. I'm dressed cold, seems fresh and clean. This ain't like nothing that you've seen, baby. That you've seen. I got that new kind of thing. That new kind of swing. That new kind of want me, but let me go. Oh, baby, it's easy to say. Oh, I got that new kind of thing.
We just finished the first coat. It's about close to 5 o'clock now. The sun's pretty much gone down. We want to still get the second coat done today. We should be able to start it in half an hour to an hour, give or take, on this side. And then by the time we get to the other side, it should have dried completely for the second coat. So far, it looks like it's coming out good. Obviously, it's hard to say fully because it does need the second coat.
It's super streaky right now.
It's really streaky, but the second coat will cover that up because right now you can see the kind of the tan underneath it. For anyone wondering, we are using the white Pettit Easy Cabin Coat. Don't really have a full thing on whether we like it yet or not. We won't know truly until we're done. So that's where we're at now. Hoping this gets done today, and then after this we can finally 100% get the cabin organized and ready to start bringing stuff on board.
Yes, queen.
Okay, that's a lot. That was long. So we finished. So we finished with our second coat, and it is looking really good. I hated that ugly beige off-white looking color that it was before. So it looks freaking amazing so far.
Like, it looks amazing.
I mean, hello. Look at it. It looks freaking amazing. Nick did an amazing job fairing the Portlights. I could have never done that, to be perfectly honest. So he did a really good job with that. We are going to do a third coat. We noticed that 2 coats wasn't quite enough. It's still a little thin in some places, which could be error on our part or thinness of the paint. No idea. So we're gonna have to buy another container of the paint. So
I think it's not really us. I mean, we're going from like a fairly dark cream color to
bright
white. And it just doesn't have the same kind of pigmentation.
Yeah, it is going from like a beige, ugly beige color to a really bright white. So for now, we're going to leave it, let it dry. It's mostly dry now, but I'm gonna let it dry. So we're gonna do another coat tomorrow.
Yeah, we need another quart anyways.
So that is it for us tonight. Gotta head out, go home, get some food, get some sleep,
Yeah.
color an episode. Continue tomorrow!
Hey everyone! We just got back to the boat. It's the morning after our big paint job. And we made a little boo-boo. We didn't leave the heater on warm enough. It's either one of two things. We either didn't leave the heater on warm enough, or we shouldn't have done the second coat when we did. Because basically, if you look over here, I already sanded it down, but we basically had a bunch of runs in the paint. Like, really, really bad. And it looks more like a humidity issue than anything else. Also, on the ceiling, there were a bunch of like micro bubbles. Is the best word I can come up with. And again, I think it's a humidity issue. And my hunch is that we shouldn't have done the second coat when we did. It was already getting too cool outside, and so all the humidity was starting to condense inside the cabin. So, having said that, we sanded down everything, and I'm about to put a fresh coat on all the problem areas first. Gonna let that sit for a couple of hours and then do our third coat everywhere else. And kind of stinks. Thought I was gonna be done, but roll with the punches, and you live and learn. Painting a boat is not like painting a house. With that said, let's get started. We should have used a brush from the get-go. The foam was actually sucking up more paint than it was laying down. So a lot of the stuff that we had to do by hand, like around here, just doesn't, you can still see the beige underneath. And we want to get rid of that ugly beige color. So, but like you know, I'm looking at this and I'm just like, yeah.
After what feels like an eternity, we finally finished the painting. And after blasting some heat in here, it's all dry, everything looks nice, and finally it is finished, it is smooth, it is glamorous, it's everything she wants it to be. So that's it for this.
It's everything she wants but is afraid to have.
It is everything she wants but is afraid to have. He is serving some white, silky realness. So, it looks good. A lot of effort went into this. Nick is amazing. So, the only thing left to do is to apply the silicone. So, the silicone is not getting finished this week because those little assholes are taking forever to mail it to us.
What assholes?
I don't know. Wherever you ordered it from.
Where do I order everything from?
Amazon. So
Yeah.
it's taking forever to come in the mail. So it'll have to wait until next week.
We're contributing to Jeff Bezos' increasing wealth.
It's not my finest hour. Anyways, that's it for this week. Time for a wrap out. So that's it.
I'm tired.
This was a lot of work.
This was the first project we started. Think about that. This was the first project we started
And we're just not finishing
9
it.
months ago. And we finally got to the end.
Oh, we have a full-term Portlight.
Our child is born. It's like a star is born.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that we only have a little bit of siliconing to do is great. It's great. I'm so happy with how it all looks. And
So make sure you hit that subscribe button that's just down below right there so you can come back next week and watch us do the silicone on the Portlights and finally 100% wrap them out.
yeah.
And if that wasn't enough for you, hit the little bell next to the subscribe button so you get a notification when that video goes live so you can yet again watch the video of us wrapping out the Portlights.
Yeah, what he said.
And on top of that, comment below and let us know how awesome these frameless Portlights are that we did from scratch, from our own idea, scratch that out of Nick's brain, and turn it into a reality with no idea what we were going to do. But we made it happen. So comment below and tell Nick how awesome he is.
I never tire from compliments. Ever.
Who does? Who does? It is a permanent state of being. And not only that, but hit the share button because Nick deserves all of the love. Tell your Facebook friends, tell your Twitter friends, you know what? Tell your MySpace friends. Yeah, we're gonna throw it old school. Share it to MySpace. Hit the share button because sharing is caring.
Does MySpace still exist?
Yes, it
Are you
does.
sure?
100%.
I don't think that's accurate.
100%. Check it out, myspace.com. It's still there. Friendster is not. If you really, really want to show Nick how much you like his Portlights,
I'm gonna blush here.
you can support us on Patreon. The link for that is down below, along with all of our social media accounts where we post regularly. So that's it. Thank you all for watching.
Bye.
Bye.